Yeah, I'm gonna say it just like this, right? Um, Changing your status got nothing to do with jurisdiction. Changing your status don't have nothing to do with jurisdiction. Because a lot of people think if they claim they are not U.S. citizens, then that kind of give you some type of diplomatic immunity away from the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction sits in the standpoint of whether or not do the state have a real visible contract that's in place. Or if you gave any jurisdictional territorial boundaries, then you'll be subjected to that. A lot of people are in this position to say, hey, if I'm not a U.S. citizen, that means I don't go to jail. That shit false. That is false. And I talked about this before, but I wanted to make a clear video only talking about this because a lot of people have a misconception about this. They think that if I'm Moorish American or if I'm this, that means I'm exempt from the jurisdiction of the state. You're only exempt from the jurisdiction of the state when there's no contract in place.
This dude is just literally making things up. Like, he has no idea what he's talking about. The whole catch here is, you know what? Buy this package from me and I'll show you how to escape jurisdiction, because all these other guys aren't doing it right. Like, what are you talking about? The fact that you're here in the United States, you're automatically in jurisdiction. When you're on your soil, you're automatically in jurisdiction of the government, and there's no paperwork that can make that go away.
And also, I'm gonna explain this. Bench warrants, all criminal warrants are all connected to the state driver's license and ID, have penal bonds on them.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And so the reason how people get caught up a lot of time for warrants in other states, or even in the state that they in, because when the police run your driver's license number, a bench warrant pops up. And also, people ask me questions like this. Hey, what if I live in another state, but I have an ID in another state? It's something called gaining jurisdiction from out of state. So they have to contact your state to gain jurisdiction over you because you're a citizen of that state. Because every state is its own country, really. So they're going to have to contact your state and get jurisdiction over you by using their state driver's license. That's all they use. So it's called a out-of-state compact. So that's how they're going to gain jurisdiction over you. And they're going to use your address that you got out of state. And instead of you paying 10% from the bail's bondsman, they might require you to pay 20% to bond out of jail, because you more of a flight risk and a liability. Because if you was to leave that state and you had a warrant, the bail's bondsman can't go out of state to come get you. They got to be within the state. So if you leave the state, the bail's bondsman can't get you. What's going to have to happen is they're going to have to get U.S. Marshals to come get you. And they're going to have to go to the address that you have on file. So, like I say, y'all, it's a lot that comes with this, man. Status, jurisdiction, and nationality. They all have somewhat similarities, but they different. But it doesn't matter whether or not that you claim to be a U.S. citizen. Only thing that matters is there a contract that's in place. If there's no contract in place, right, that there's no territorial boundary that they can actually place you at, then there's no jurisdiction. Because anytime they file for a bond or a warrant, they have to have a physical address on file to find you, right? So they have to have you that live in, or you saying you reside in one of their territorial boundaries. If you don't reside in one of their territorial boundaries, you are outside of it.
Excuse me, sir, but that is not how that works. Because somebody that comes here from another country, let's say they're just coming here from Ethiopia on vacation, and if they break the law, the police have jurisdiction to arrest them. And with what you're saying, that means because this man doesn't live in the United States, his address is outside of their jurisdiction, that means they can't arrest him. And that's not how jurisdiction works. The United States has jurisdiction as long as you're on United States soil. point blank period. It is that simple. Because if what you're saying is true, then that means anybody that comes from another country can come here and murder people and just do all types of mischievous things without any consequence. And everyone, any intelligent person knows that that is just not how things work. It is sad that what you're advocating is straight foolishness, and for somebody to believe what you're saying, their intelligence level has to be very low. So therefore, you're preying on unintelligent people to buy some type of package from you, and it's just shameful. It's just ridiculous.
And it's not even about the passport. If you didn't have a passport and no state ID, no driver's license and all that stuff, and you was, and every time you was to ask your address and you didn't give my address and you say I live in the United States of America Republic, most of the time that would exempt you right there from prosecution. That would exempt you automatically. I had a dude I know, right? It's a white dude, right? His name Uriah. His name Uriah. So he lived over there in Oklahoma. No, Missouri. He lived in Missouri. And so the police out there found him with like Zans. They found him with like some meth, all type of stuff. So he didn't have a contract with the state. Like he took my advice and everything like that. So when they came and snatched him up and grabbed all of that, they detained him for 3 days. It was asking him where do he live and everything like that. But he listed everything I say. He ain't gave him nothing. So after that, they had released him from the station. They confiscated the merchandise because police gonna end up taking it just because of public safety. But regardless of not, he didn't go to jail, and that was crazy. But yeah, jurisdiction, it don't have nothing to do with status. Those are two different things. It doesn't matter if you claim to be a Moorish American or a national. It doesn't matter. Or even if you're a state citizen. Only thing that matters is the contract. I'm out. Yo, what's up? Now I'm gonna be the first to tell you guys that accepting a benefit or a privilege has nothing to do with the state gaining jurisdiction over you. Now, many people would be like, well, if you get welfare, don't they make you a subject to their jurisdiction? No, not at all. Because
now, before he goes into his soliloquy and dish out more false information using his own logic, he says, don't get into a contract, return the driver's license, and that's how you get out of jurisdiction. Don't have any contracts. Now, if somebody is getting food stamps from the government, that would be a contract, sir. Somebody's getting Section 8 welfare from the government. That is a contract. So, using your logic, even though your logic is very wrong, what you're saying makes no sense. You're about to go into this long speech on how being on food stamps or welfare is not, it doesn't pull you into the jurisdiction, but that's contradictory to everything that you teach. It's a contract. You tell people to get out of all contracts. So any non-citizen national shouldn't have a contract of getting food stamps or Section 8 or welfare, because then that pulls them into the jurisdiction because it's a contract with the government. So let me see you try to wiggle your way out of, well, you know what? Well, getting food stamps, it's okay. That you can get that, and you'll still be outside of the jurisdiction. Let me see you wiggle your sneaky little way out. I'm pretty sure at the end of this, you'll have something else, some more paperwork to sell to people on how you can still get your food stamps and at the same time retain non-citizen national status.
when they run your background, right, through like the federal background and everything like that, and see you take benefits, that's not how the state or federal government obtain jurisdiction. You have to be a subject to their territorial boundaries. And meaning this, if a person put that they want food stamps, but they live in a rural free area, they can put that. And then on top of that, where they receive mail, they can say they receive mail anywhere. You can have mail sent to your grandmother's house or a person's house that you do not know, or a random P.O. box, just to pick up your food stamps. And then if the police went in your pocket and they pulled a food stamp, that don't get them jurisdiction. What get them jurisdiction is the contractual waiver. Where do you live? Once you tell them that, you lose your rights. Remember that saying, you got the right to remain silent. A lot of people who follow this type of truth, they ain't been remaining silent. They've been talking to the police. They've been really talking to the police. They've been telling the police everything. So when they gain jurisdiction, don't be surprised. And also, I'm gonna tell you guys this as well, right?
Now, of course, everything this man just said was completely wrong. But at the same time, this man is literally trying to teach people how to commit fraud against the government. He's trying to teach how to get your food stamps, but you can put a fake address. Like, I can't believe this dude is this stupid to be trying to teach people nonsense like this. And it's even more mind-blowing that there are people actually out there contacting this dude for a consultation. This is insane, man. The world we live in is it's crazy right now.
A few people asked me this question, and it was about what was it about? It was about I want to say another form of jurisdiction, right? We're dealing with certain court cases and everything like that, right? Now, this is how jurisdiction works. Once you first get in encounter with an officer and they get jurisdiction over you, like get you to admit to an address, get you to admit to your social security number, what they then do is they bond over the case. Once the case bonded over, a lot of people say, oh, if I found remedy what if I move from the address? They have jurisdiction over the case. So it wouldn't matter if you relocated, they can go anywhere and find you. It doesn't matter if they got to send the task force, the feds, ATF, it doesn't matter. Because in that instance, they have jurisdiction over you. That's why they got a case number. After that case is settled, then the jurisdiction things start all over. So you're a brand new man. So once you walk in the streets and you giving these people your information, such as your address, such as your social security number, and on top of that, you having contracts with the state, they gain jurisdiction just like that. Read your arrest complaint. I tell everybody this, read the arrest complaint. You don't believe me that's how they pull you into jurisdiction, don't believe me. And one person that I've seen on YouTube that actually talked about this, now, I didn't really get the information from him on the address aspect, but he mentioned it one time. But I don't know if he even go that hard with thinking like that's how they gain jurisdiction. But to be honest, that's how they gain jurisdiction. But accepting a benefit or privilege does not prevent a person from being outside. Like it doesn't prevent a person from being outside their jurisdiction. So if you accept a link card or food stamps, that don't subject you to the jurisdiction. That's false. False information. You think the court pull up your your food stamp records? No. You think the court pull up you receive government assistance records in court? No. Read the arrest complaint. We got your driver's license number and we got your address. That's what got the jurisdiction. So don't let people just lie to y'all saying, oh, well, you got a birth certificate, you got a social security number. That pulls you into jurisdiction. Hell no, they don't pull you into jurisdiction. Jurisdiction got everything to do with territory. You can have a social security number and a birth certificate, and they do not have jurisdiction. It's possible. It's very much possible. It's very, very much possible. You know, and I found out this through the court, through trial and error and everything like that. And once I found out what they really do to gain jurisdiction, I cut all of that out. So yes, it don't matter if you get food stamp. It doesn't matter if you get veterans benefits or anything like this. Now, this is what I would want to say. Now, over the food stamp, they got complete control over the food stamp. So whether or not they want to cut you off, they can do that. Now, as far as them gaining jurisdiction in the sense of pulling you to administrative court, let's say if you receive food stamps, but you a convicted felon and you was caught with a firearm, your food stamps is not going to go on a court record or them using an address from the food stamps, because you can be completely homeless and receive food stamps and say you live in a rural free area, or you can receive your mail at a homeless shelter. That's not jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is when you completely admit to the territorial boundaries or have contracts with the state. Also, if you have an expired license with the state or an expired driver's license, a driver's license or a state ID with the state, you have to surrender it. Your ID being expired don't have nothing to do with it, like surrendering it. You have to get rid of it. It has to be surrendered, and you have to make sure you are outside of these people's jurisdiction as much as possible. You know, I can't stress this too much, but this is all I want to say, y'all. Yeah, so for the most part, you can accept plenty of benefits and privileges. You guys just know how to get out that jurisdiction. You just got to know how to get out of it. Last 2 years ago for my business, I received a government PPP loan. This is from my corporation, and it got all forgiven by the same government and everything like that. That don't matter. And on top of that, look, this thing about it, right? When you fill out for the PPP loan, right, for the payroll protection program, they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen or national of the United States? They ask you on the form, and I check off yes, because I am a national of the United States. Has nothing to do with jurisdiction. Has nothing to do with jurisdiction. They don't gain jurisdiction by you taking a benefit and privilege. It doesn't work like that. Whoever telling y'all that is lying. If they want to bring up facts, show them arrest complaints, and I'm going to show you what the jurisdiction came from.
This guy right here, he blows my mind when he speaks, because quite frankly, he is a complete idiot. He keeps advocating to return your driver's license. Now, the driver's license is a privilege, yet now he's saying the government doesn't gain jurisdiction from receiving food stamps or other privileges. So if that's the case, why do you advocate for people to return their driver's license? That driver's license is a privilege. Now, furthermore, this fool is now admitting to scamming the government out of PPP money. I can't believe people are this stupid that they'll go on the internet and make videos confessing their crimes. Like, this is literally out of this world. Like, you can't write a better TV script. It is sad that there are people out here that are actually going to follow this man as if he is an intelligent person. This man is a complete fool, and it is clear he is admitting to defrauding the government in a PPP loan, for a PPP loan. Like, you can't make this stuff up.
Show your arrest complaint. I'm going to show you what the jurisdiction, how they obtained it. So that's all I got to say. Jurisdiction don't have nothing to do with taking a benefit or a privilege. I'm gone. All right, now look. Now, this is another thing, right, that I really, really, truly want y'all to understand, right? Before y'all want to change our status, please be on equal grounds with you and everybody in your household. So when you change your status, not you just got to change your status. You have to change your status. Your wife has to change her status. Your kids have to change their status. And also your unborn kids have to change their status, right? And I'm going to explain this, right? So I'm going to give you a scenario, right? I have a friend, right? I'm not going to say his name or whatever, right? So he was driving on the expressway, right? Now, he is a non-citizen national. His girlfriend is a U.S. citizen. She have a driver's license on her. He have the passport on him, right? Now, he previously got arrested because he gave the police jurisdiction by giving him an address, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. So when he got pulled over by the state troopers this time, right? They had asked him, hey, sir, where do you live at? He said, I live in the United States of America Republic. So I told him to say that, right? Now, they took him out the car because they knew he had a pending case. So he already gave them jurisdiction. But this is not how they gained jurisdiction the second time. So they pulled his girlfriend out the car. They said, hey, who are you to him? She said, hey, I'm his girlfriend. They asked her, okay, can I see your ID? She gave them her driver's license. Once she gave them her driver's license, she also asked, do he stay at the same location with you? She said, yes. So she was like scared. She was like, yes. And pretty much the same address that he was arrested with was the same address that was on her state ID. And she admitted that he lived over there, and they pulled him into jurisdiction. Damn, what they did, they towed away the car, they arrested him again, so he was in jail.
Now, one thing I must admit that I like about this gentleman is that his objective is clear. He's trying to sell sovereignty papers or whatever the case may be. He's selling a dream to individuals. The thing I like about him is that he's so stupid. He doesn't realize when he's telling these stories, he's showing that the crap that he's selling to these people doesn't work, because this individual took his advice and bought whatever paperwork from him. And look, the guy still got locked up. Now, he's giving all of these stupid excuses. Oh, it's because she said you guys live together, and like that. None of that makes any sense, and none of that is why this man got locked up. Your paperwork and the stuff you sell is all bogus. It does not work. And this man is so airheaded that he doesn't even realize that his own testimonials that he is out here making is counterproductive. You are literally telling people that the stuff that you are selling doesn't work. This is just like, this is funny.
He called me. He said, man, I'm in jail again. I said, what the fuck? How? And he was like, so he didn't tell me the full breakdown because I talked to his girl first. And she said, I don't know what's going on with this sovereign crap or anything like that. So she pretty much gave him away, right, without even knowing it. So that's why I be telling y'all, your wife can pretty much give jurisdiction to the officer too. Because if your wife got a driver's license, and I got another scenario about a brother, right? So he's a convicted felon, right? Now imagine his wife don't want to do the whole status change. Now just imagine, look at it like this, right? So you driving with a gun on you and you're a convicted felon. And now your wife have a driver's license on her. Let's just say a state trooper pull y'all over and he an asshole. And he say, hey, dude, y'all got any weapons in the car? And you trying to be honest, yes, I do have a firearm on me. They get your passport, you outside of their jurisdiction. But this the problem. They look at the IDs, right? Both the driver's license and the passport. Y'all got the same matching last name. He asked y'all, are you guys married? She said yes. Do he live with you? What happened when she said yes? They pull your ass into jurisdiction.
Say what?
Because all they need to know, where do you live? Once they can find a resident where you live, that's when they can pull you in. That's how they can bond over the case. So y'all whole households, y'all families, all of you got to be on one accord. I'm sovereign. My wife's sovereign. My kid's sovereign. We live in the United States of America Republic. That's how it has to be. It just can't be you sovereign and then you want to do not detain list, but your wife not. It don't work like that, because you want to be sovereign all the way around. Because if you give jurisdiction to them through her, if they get jurisdiction to you through her, then it's the same goddamn thing. So you got to be 100% careful. You got to be on point about all this stuff, man. Like, for real, these other ways how they can be crafty, man. So my friend, his girlfriend gave him jurisdiction over him. So all I got to say, man, I'm out.
You see, this guy right here, he's definitely slime bag, man. Because now, instead of just ruining one person's life, he's advocating, you know what? Let me ruin your whole household's life. Let me sell all of you guys sovereignty packages that'll eventually ruin your life. This guy is a piece of freaking work. My advice, stay away from him. None of that stuff that he is talking about is true. Keep your money in your pocket.